Today's video is going to be a garage update. Fun fact, this video is actually happening in the middle of another video where I'm actually fixing the mirror on that car because I've got 30 minutes to burn, so I figured why not do two videos at once? Efficient. Before we get going on the video, I do want to let you guys know about a channel that I stumbled across recently. It's actually pretty good. If you have an Impala, you'll want to check this guy out. His channel is called Lieutenant Hall, and he actually has a Chevrolet Impala, and he is a lieutenant at his security job. So he has a legitimate, I guess, security vehicle. He actually owns it. He put some lights on it, and he does security as his job. So if you guys want to check out his car, kind of check out his content, you know, I think he's got some pretty good heart. Content's pretty good. He actually just had a run-in with local law enforcement over somebody calling in. It wasn't something he did. It was just, he just matched the description, I guess you could say. So, you know, he'll tell you all about that and what happened with that and kind of his feelings on it. And, you know, you guys might want to go check that out. And he also has some videos of, you know, kind of like his gear, things like that. So, you know, if you want to go check out another YouTuber, another interesting channel, if, you know, especially if you guys like the Chevrolet Impala stuff, you know, I'd say he's a good guy to go check out. So this is what I call Dead Vic. This actually isn't my car. It started life as a, I think it was a county schools like police vehicle, and it used to have a push bumper on the front. Basically what happened is I think the timing chain or something came off on this, and it basically destroyed the motor. I think the transmission's still good, but this isn't actually my car. I'm holding it for a friend. They actually live in one of those beautiful HOA communities where you can't have stuff like this sitting around, and I live in a place where it doesn't matter. But anyway, it's got a couple of antennas on it. It's kind of rough, but just holding it for a friend. So, moving from the Dead Vic, we will go to the newest vehicle in the fleet here. This is, of course, the 2019 Ford F-150 XLT that I use for work. It has a Weston HDX push bumper grill guard on the front of it. I do have a couple of lights in it, which you guys may have seen in a recent video. If you haven't, basically I have a light up there and a light in the rear deck. This is primarily my work vehicle. I have actually done several videos on this vehicle already. There's some videos explaining some of the issues I've had with it. Nothing too dramatic, I don't think, though some people would be very bothered by some of the things that I've gone through with this. But, you know, I've got a few videos on that. I've got a video of installing the Weston there, the grill guard. And other than that, it is, I guess you could call that my daily driver. Now, the next vehicle I want to go talk about is the Impala. Ah, there she is. This was the vehicle that started the channel. This is my 2010 Chevrolet Impala that currently requires this as a key to get it going. Key in the ignition. Pop the hood. Now, when I pop the hood, I always try to take a quick look in here and make sure there's no wasp nests, because insects have been known to nest in my vehicles within a few days if I let them sit for, you know, a week. Alright, got my car key out. Now, the reason why I leave the battery disconnected is because this thing has some sort of vampire draw, and it will drain the battery pretty quickly. Alright, let's see if she wants to start today. And fires up. It's got some issues. Needs an oil change. Needs some proper coolant. You know, the usual. Of course, tire pressure's low because the car's been sitting a bunch. Now, the story on this car is basically a little while before I got the channel started. Would help if I put it in reverse. Needed another vehicle, and the vehicle that was being used was a Honda CR-V. I think those are the second generation or third generation, whichever one was out in like 2001, 2002, 2003, that time frame. Well, all of those vehicles in particular have a flaw with the air conditioning system, and the air conditioner gave up on that. And rather than waste the money on replacing it, figured it would be more cost effective to just buy an entire car, because this car costs about as much as the air conditioner does on that one. So figured I might as well do that rather than waste the money on, you know, repairing something that was gonna inevitably break again. So that's how we ended up with this. There's been a bunch of videos done on this particular vehicle. Everything from swapping the steering wheel over to leather, changing out the, let's see if this thing's gonna work today. Come on, work, there we go. Oh, it's been sitting too long. But yeah, we've got an LED spotlight here. Ooh, that's bright. Switch that out. I mean, there's been a lot of videos done on this car, but this is actually a former sheriff's office vehicle. This vehicle was supposedly used by a bailiff. It's got a decent amount of miles on it. Let me see what this thing says. It's got 158,000 miles. Sorry, I was pointing the camera in the wrong place, but it's got 158,000 miles. It's been a pretty good car. I just haven't had time to fix the cooling system because I gelled it. And at some point I need to get that fixed, but I am periodically starting it up, running it a little bit to just make sure that the fluids are sort of moving around, aside from the sludge, you know, coolant stuff that I got going on. But I don't know if that's helping or hurting it, but we'll find out eventually at some point. But I do intend on keeping this vehicle. I just gotta get her running again. Oh, I changed that out too, to a LED one. Found that in the junkyard. This car caused me to go on a lot of junkyard adventures. So there's all kinds of little things that have been done to this. Everything changing the door molding, figuring out how that seat comes out. Just anything and everything. This car still has some blue LED flashers in the, I think it's in the reverse lights. So I actually powered those up one day just to see what color they were. I was a little bummed when I found out they were blue because I can't do anything with that. So obviously they're no longer connected. I actually powered them up with, I think, a 9-volt battery, but there's a video on that somewhere in my channel. So if you guys want to go check that stuff out, there's a bunch of older content. If you're bored sitting at home, you know, doing the quarantine thing, fish through some of the old videos. There's some fun stuff out there that I've done, played around with. Did a weekend drive with this car through Tampa. So yeah, there's a lot of, you know, little things out there with that. And at some point I just got to get this bad boy running again. Well, it's running right now, but I mean, running more than, you know, 10-15 minutes at a time, because at some point that little coolant gauge right there is going to get over that middle area. When it gets just a little bit higher, it'll start talking about how it needs to be turned off, protect itself, blah 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 blah. So yeah, when they say don't mix the coolant, don't mix the damn coolant. So 2019, 2010, and then we have the 2008. This is my 2008 Ford Crown Victoria. That radio doesn't work. That radio doesn't work. I mean, I guess there's no brain unit, I guess is what I'm getting at. The lights do work. The siren can work, but it's disconnected for obvious reasons. The last thing I want to do is accidentally turn that thing on driving down the road. So, you know, because if you were to just tap that, it would honk, and I don't want to, you know, bump into it or something and scare the hell out of myself and other people. So here we go. We will take a quick look on the outside. So as you guys know, this vehicle was originally from a fire department. I did put the push bumper on the front. Lights in the back window. Lights in the tail lights. Don't know if you can see them because of strobes, and the camera has a hard time picking up strobes, but they're in there. And then of course there's strobes in the front corners also. And of course the side lights. Of course these were all mostly red. Most of these lights over here were red. And actually on the back of the vehicle, that's not illegal in Florida, but on the front it is. So I could have left these lights back here red, but I chose not to. I'd much rather have them amber. And then of course I had to change the front lights to amber regardless, so I just went ahead and turned them all amber. So I was trying to do some audio from the outside, but then it got kind of breezy, so I'm not real sure how it turned out. But basically, this vehicle is a former fire rescue vehicle, so it's probably one of the handful of Crown Victorias in the world that have been kind of babied, that were actually, I guess, a municipal vehicle at some point in its life. Most of them end up being police vehicles, or a lot of them became cabs, things like that. So a lot of these vehicles had a really hard life cycle. This one, I'm not really sure what the fire department did within it. I know that it wasn't like a hardcore responder type vehicle. I mean, the mileage on this bad boy is, you know, pretty low. And then, you know, it's a trip mileage. And there's the hours. I mean, that's 329 hours. So this bad boy's had a nice and peaceful life. So I will continue to baby this vehicle while I have it. Maybe if the right opportunity hits, I'll go get another Crown Victoria, one that I can just kind of beat on. Don't really want to beat on this one because it's pretty special. You know, it did come with all of its original equipment. The only thing I did was I added the push bumper on the front, went and did center caps instead of the full wheel covers, because this one had full wheel covers. And I went ahead and added the front push bumper, but I retained the original bumper, because at some point I'm going to take the push bumper off and go back to just the original plain Jane bumper. And this vehicle has never had a spotlight. So figured I'd take a moment to show you guys this. So right here, does that say P71? So yeah, as I said before in one of my other videos, you can get these without the spotlight. You don't have to order it with the spotlight. And you can get carpet, cloth seat, carpet, and you can get the black honeycomb grille, because that's what this one has. And it has the black, I guess, I don't know what you call that, the piece on the trunk. It's not color matched to the car. So I guess this is kind of like an in-between package. I mean, it's just a full-on police interceptor minus the spotlight, carpet floor, and of course cruise control, because whoever had this in the fire department absolutely needed that. So not going to question judgment, because I appreciate it. It's nice to have cruise control, even though I don't use this a whole ton, but it is nice the few times that I do take it out and about and show it off, things like that. So probably need to get back to doing that. I've just been pretty busy up until here recently. Got a lot of things going on in life. But anyway, thought you guys might get a kick out of seeing all the vehicles, kind of learning a little bit about them, because I know I get a lot more newer subscribers that aren't real familiar with what I've got, why I've got it, where it came from, that kind of stuff. And if you follow the channel for a while, came on here recently, I did have a I guess a Ford Escape for a little while, and I did a 179,000 mile review on that. So if you're ever interested in one of those kind of vehicles, go check that video out, and it'll tell you all about the experience I had with that particular thing, and some of the neat quirks and the weird hiding spot that's inside of the car. Anyway, love to each and every one of you. Thanks for stopping by, thanks for checking out the video, and I'll catch you on the next one.